You sit by the crackling fire, rolling up your green polo sleeve. You let the warm light catch the heavy gleam of your gold Rolex. Across the flames, your rival flashes a massive diamond ring and a shiny Patek Philippe. He sits tall, waiting for the entire tribe to bow down. In the modern world, this undeniable display of wealth would instantly make you a king. It proves you hold power, status, and control over resources. But for 99% of human history, flashing your shiny treasures wouldn't earn you any respect. Instead, it would make you a prime target for execution. Today, we are completely obsessed with flexing our status. We buy expensive brands and shiny metals just to tell strangers that we are somehow better than them. Your brain is desperately chasing a feeling of importance. But here is the terrifying truth. Let us travel back 300,000 years into the Paleolithic era. There is no money, no property, and absolutely no way to store your wealth. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer societies have discovered a shocking universal rule. Almost all early human tribes were Anthropologist Christopher Boehm calls this a reverse dominance hierarchy. Instead of one strong alpha male ruling the group, imagine you stand up in the cave, pointing to your gold watch, trying to give orders to the hunters. You expect them to follow your brilliant leadership. They do not bow. They do not listen. Instead, they start laughing at you. They mock. Researcher Richard Borsche-Lee observed this exact behavior in the Jusawansi tribe. They actively use a brutal tactic called if a hunter brings back a massive animal and acts even slightly proud, the tribe will call his catch worthless garbage. In the harsh reality of the Ice Age, an arrogant leader who thinks he is better than others is a deadly threat to your group's survival. Selfishness leads to starvation. So what happens if you refuse to drop your ego? The tribe's punishment for flexing is far worse than just a little teasing. In the Pleistocene, being canceled by your tribe is not just embarrassing, it is a literal death sentence. You cannot hunt a mammoth alone. Your gold watch and diamond ring signal that you want to keep resources for yourself. To a hunter-gatherer, a hoarder is a parasite. Think about their nomadic lifestyle. You are constantly moving across harsh landscapes. Carrying heavy, useless, shiny rocks is a terrible survival strategy. Early humans did not store food or wealth. They trusted the environment to provide what they needed. When you hunt a large animal, the meat will rot in a few days. So, how do you save it for the future? You store it in the bellies of your tribe members. By giving away your food today, you guarantee they will feed you tomorrow. Therefore, the ultimate ancient flex was not about what you kept. It was about how much you were willing to give away. Generosity bought you the only currency that truly mattered in the dangerous Stone Age, a flawless reputation. But does this mean our ancestors had absolutely zero physical items to show off their status? Not exactly. They just valued completely different things. Now, imagine yourself standing at Blombos Cave in South Africa, dating back roughly 75,000 years. Archaeologist Christopher Henshelwood and his team uncovered dozens of tiny marine snail shells. But these were no ordinary shells. These were not tools for hunting or cooking. They were covered in red ochre paint and strung together. They were the first jewelry. This shell necklace was the ancient equivalent of your Rolex. But it did not communicate that you were richer or better than everyone else. Instead, it showed that you had free time, immense skill, and deep connections with other tribes. It was a flex of survival mastery. So, if early humans were so obsessed with equality, what was their ultimate weapon against arrogant wannabe dictators? It was not a wooden spear. It was gossip. Today, you might think of gossiping at the office water cooler as a toxic habit, but for your ancestors, it meant survival. Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar discovered that our brains can only handle about 150 stable social relationships. Dunbar argues that as tribe sizes grew, physical grooming became impossible. So, your ancestors developed language specifically to, let us say you try to dominate the group again. You flex your muscles and act like the boss. Direct physical confrontation is far too dangerous. The tribe uses a safer, invisible weapon.
Two hunters whisper behind a bush.
Three gatherers talk. They share stories about your selfishness. They tally up how many times you took too much meat. Your social credit score drops to 0 instantly. This all culminates in the ultimate Ice Age courtroom. the nighttime campfire. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner found that daytime conversations are mostly about work and hunting. But at night, by the fire, the tribe tells stories and enforces rules. Under the stars, the group reaches a silent consensus about your arrogant behavior. No judge bangs a gavel, but the verdict is absolutely final. The next morning, you wake up expecting to give orders. But something is wrong. The tribe has deployed their most devastating punishment, total ostracism. You try to join the hunting party, but they simply walk away. You sit by the fire, and everyone turns their backs. Your rival with the Patek Philippe watch tries to buy their forgiveness with shiny rocks, but they ignore him entirely. Wealth means absolutely nothing here. In this brutal environment, no human can survive alone. Without the protection and shared food of the tribe, you are completely defenseless. Gossip and the threat of exile kept human societies perfectly equal for hundreds of thousands of years. But why does this ancient punishment still hurt today? Let us bring you back to the present. You are sitting at your modern office desk, completely safe from predators and freezing temperatures. Suddenly, your boss sends an angry email. Or you realize you've been left out of a social event by your coworkers. Instantly, your chest tightens, your stomach drops. You feel a wave of intense anxiety, as if you have just been physically punched in the gut. Why does a simple social mistake feel so agonizing? Brain scans reveal that social rejection activates the exact same neural pathways as physical injury. This is a classic evolutionary mismatch. Your body is safely living in a modern city, but your brain is still operating in the Pleistocene era. To your ancient ancestors, social acceptance was the ultimate life insurance policy. If the tribe liked you, you ate. Therefore, evolution hardwired your brain with a brutal alarm system. That deep pain of rejection is an ancient survival mechanism. Today, being canceled or unfriended on social media will not actually kill you. You can easily survive without the approval of your office coworkers. If you lose your job, you can still walk into a supermarket and buy food. You no longer need a hunting party to survive. But your primitive brain does not know what a supermarket or a modern corporation is. It only understands the harsh logic of the ancient savanna. This deep-seated fear is exactly why we obsess over flexing our status today. We buy the heavy gold watches and the massive diamond rings. We constantly post our daily achievements online, desperately farming for likes and comments. We are trying to simulate the ancient feeling of tribal approval. You are trying to prove your worth to a digital tribe of absolute strangers, hoping they will not cast you out into the cold. We use modern wealth to build a shield against this ancient anxiety. But we are using the wrong tools to cure a deeply prehistoric pain. To truly cure this prehistoric anxiety, you cannot just buy more shiny rocks. You must understand what actual wealth meant to your ancient ancestors. Economist Marshall Solins famously called hunter-gatherers the original affluent society. This was not because they had many. Their wealth was never stored in heavy safes or bank accounts. It was stored in their absolute mastery of the environment and their deep social bonds. The true alpha of the group was never the loudest one. It was never the one who demanded obedience or hoarded the most food. For your ancestors, the true leader wasn't the strongest hunter. It was the wise grandmother who remembered exactly where. It was the skilled hunter who brought down a massive beast and then silently gave the best pieces of meat to the weakest members. That was the ultimate Stone Age flex. Being so incredibly capable and confident in your survival skills that you could afford to give everything away. In the modern world, we have completely reversed this survival logic. We admire the people who take the most, not the ones who give. We build massive digital tribes online, yet we feel more isolated and terrified of social rejection than any generation before us. Your primitive brain is constantly scanning for the saber-toothed tiger of social exile, desperately trying to protect you with expensive luxury brands. But true safety does not come from a price tag. It comes from being genuinely indispensable to the people around you in the real world. Let us return to that ancient campfire. Your rival with the diamond ring and the shiny watch is still sitting there, desperately waiting for applause. Instead, the tribe is already whispering. The invisible, deadly countdown to his complete social exile has all. You look down at your own glowing wrist. You finally understand the brutal, undeniable rules of this ancient and unforgiving survival game. So you roll down your sleeve. True status is what you share. Please note, all characters and settings are for entertainment purposes only.